Hola, hola, hey. Hola, hola, hey. It's Colon Cancer Awareness Month, y'all. All right, I got another dance. So apparently y'all are liking the dance videos that I'm doing for Colon Cancer Awareness Month. I'll be laughing at my own self because I am gonna post another one later that I just did. All right, everybody, welcome to Shine with Kendell, Lenice. We are in our 11th season. Woo! 11 seasons, y'all. I'm grateful and thankful. So this is going to be like a mini episode of Shine with Kendell, Lenice, because I've been holding on to this story because we're focusing on relationships in season 11. All kinds of relationships. If you have missed some of the episodes, you can find some on YouTube, but you can find them all on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and you can find the audio on YouTube as well. So wherever you listen to your podcast, you will find the episodes. And when I try to tell you, we have had some amazing episodes for season 11 when it comes to relationships, the good, the not so good, but all of the learning, right, and the growing that people are growing through in their relationships or out of their relationships. Because I think relationships are often a mirror. I think relationships will stretch you like nothing else. I think relationships will, if you get the right things from the relationships, even if they don't work. Also, I think the people in relationships are our unorthodox teachers because we can learn from them if we take what we need, take the meat, throw away the bones, and really focus on ourselves and what we can do better in relationships. But first, you have to be in great relationship with yourself. That's the only way you're going to be a great partner in a relationship. So you got to do your work. You got to do your homework. You got to see what makes you tick or what you're going through and how you can grow through it and what you can learn, and have you healed this, or now do you recognize this? Because sometimes you'll get in relationships and you'll see, okay, that needs to be healed, this needs to be healed, okay, I need to address this, and that's how you grow. So hopefully each relationship you've been in, you're able to grow and get something from it and take it away to be the best version of you. Not the best version of you to be in another relationship, but the best version of you, period. And then ultimately it's going to trickle into your relationships. Now, those that have been with just one person or multiple people, you have lessons throughout. If you've been with somebody for 6 months, or you've been with somebody for 16 years or 60 years, there's something that you can learn and grow with in your relationships. So I wanted to share this story with you, and I got permission by the woman who told me this story, and I know this story to be true because she has confided in me and has shared some things that her marriage was extremely rocky for many years. There was infidelity in the marriage. He cheated on her. She tried to figure out if she was going to stay or leave. She said she never even thought about not leaving because they have children. And she understood, not that she condoned him cheating, not that she condoned, the behavior of that act, but because they were married and they worked through it. There are a lot of people out there who work through infidelity in relationships. You got some people that's like the sight of it, I'm out of here, I'm gone. That's the deal breaker, right? Then you have some people that say, you know what, that's not the biggest offense, I'll stay after infidelity. But sometimes when it's infidelity or financial issues, people don't recover from them. It's very difficult to not bring up certain things, or to, if someone cheated on you, you're afraid, your trust is gone, and you don't know how to come back from that. So a lot of people do not stay after infidelity. But this woman stayed in her marriage, and it was rocky throughout the marriage. They were barely, talking. The focus was on the children and not on them, and they were coexisting in a marriage as off like as whether we want to talk about it or not, a lot of people are just coexisting in marriages. Don't believe the hype, what you see on social media, honey, because a lot of them are just getting along to get along, right? They're in the house doing their own things, or they have separate lives within the marriage. There's no unity in the marriage. It's just like, we married, and both people are living separate lives within the house. Not so much cheating or separate lives outside or open relationship outside, but you're just cohabitating together, and you have the title and the paperwork of marriage. But a lot of people do not have healthy marriages, whether it's healthy sex lives, whether it's healthy conversation, whether it's healthy interaction between the two, whether it's healthy dating within your marriage, whether it's healthy having fun in your marriage. A lot of people don't have that. People have unhealthy marriages, and some people don't even know how to recognize the unhealthiness because it's been that way for so dang long. They just don't even know how to function any other way. So this couple, she got Sisterlocs. So for some that don't know, and some of the guys out there, let me break it down. Y'all know I had locks for 13 years. They were like a nice size, maybe like small to medium, and they were down to my backside. I had them for 13 years, cut my locks off in 2020, during that pandemic. I was turning 49, I believe. Yeah, right before like 49th birthday. And that's when I revealed that they were cut on my 49th birthday. So I love natural hair. I love locks. I love the look of Sisterlocs as well. Sisterlocs are the super, super, super tiny, small locks. They look like braids almost, or twists, but they're very, very, very defined and very teeny. You don't even part it with some of them. Some people do part Sisterlocs, so let me clear that up. But some people will just grab the hair and twist the hair, and it's locked, so it kind of still stays like a traditional lock, but it's much, much smaller. They're very beautiful. So this woman got Sisterlocs, and the maintenance. So Sisterlocs, let me just break it down. Sisterlocs are very, very expensive to install. They could be like $1,000, right? And then the maintenance is a couple of $100 to do it. You don't have to have the maintenance as often as you would with traditional locks, but you have still they have to do it. So they have this tool, and they go and interlock it and kind of put a knot at the top, for lack of better words, and pull it so it tightens the root. Because just like with regular traditional locks, as your new growth comes in, you have the new growth, and you want to twist that so it can be defined within that lock. And that's the same with Sisterlock. So as your hair begins to grow and you have new growth, right? I'm giving a lesson on Sisterlocks and locks because I'm going somewhere with this, people. So, you have to tighten the root, and you have this, and this could be tedious. It could be long and tedious, but the outcome is beautiful. That sounds like life. That's a word, y'all. It could be tedious. It could be long. It could be boring. But if you sit through that season, the outcome, is going to be great. All right. So long story shorter. So Sisterlocs saved their marriage because the infidelity, the lack of communication, the stagnancy of the relationship and the staleness that a relationship can get. And when you're a parent, your focus is on the children and not on each other. They weren't seeing eye to eye. Divorce conversation, came up a couple of times for them. But when she got Sisterlocs, he learned how to tighten her roots. So, as I told you, it's long, it's tedious, it's a process. And you know how the old fashioned you sit between the legs and they do your hair. So, the Sisterlocs saved their marriage because they spent that time. So, think about in marriages, you haven't spent quality time in your marriage. You're doing everything else but doing marriage together. Yes, you're married on paper. Yes, you're married for the world to see, but you're cohabitating and coexisting and not really as a unit in a marriage. So each time that he learned, she taught him how and looked on YouTube, and he was able to tighten her root with the tool, and her hair started flourishing as the relationship started flourishing. And each time it was time to get her roots done, he would do it. So they're sitting there. They're sitting with each other for hours. They're having conversation. He is invested in her hair and what she's doing. You know what I mean? And they're having conversations. And when I tell you the smile on this woman's face, because she, like I said, she has shared some things, and I got permission to share this with you guys. But she had shared some things, and her marriage was extremely rocky. And one day I was like, your hair look nice, girl. You got your hair redone. And she said, my husband did it. I said, now what now? Your husband did it. She's like, yep, we taught him how to tighten up the Sisterlocs and to do the process with the little tool. And it's very tedious because the Sisterlocs are this small. And she has a lot of hair. So that's a lot of hours and a lot of sitting still. So think about it. You're sitting still. You're watching movies together. You're talking. It's like a date where nobody can get up unless you go in the bathroom and get something to eat. So their relationship started mending because of that time that they spent sitting still with one another. That's a word. And I said, girl, so you mean to tell me the Sisterlocs then saved your marriage? And she said, yes, it saved my marriage. And it was unintentional, but God always has a purpose. So you just never know what it is. And her hair is looking beautiful. Her hair is flourishing. And so is her marriage. Now, will the Sisterlocs keep the couple together? Absolutely not. They're still going to have to, as long as each time he does her hair, they sit there and have conversations, and then they're open, because ultimately he was invested in something that she did for herself. It's something that she paid for. She did for herself, over $1,000. I believe it was like $1,500. And she made that investment in her because before she wasn't, really doing her hair much. She didn't know what to do with it, and she had a lot of hair. So she made this investment. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to take care of my hair, and I'm going to do something with little to no maintenance. So she decided to get the Sisterlocs. And she came home one day. She had the Sisterlocs. Of course, he loved it. Of course, like men do. He was like, how much that cost? But she paid for it, herself. So now with the maintenance, whether he wanted to do it to save his wife money, to save him money, or to spend time, it really doesn't matter, because what he did. Now, some of you would be like, well, he probably didn't want to spend the money, so he decided to do it. And what? So she was spending it herself, right? So he started maintenance in her hair, and now their relationship is thriving, just like her hair, flourishing, just like her hair. So that's a metaphor for a relationship, and that's also literal. You have to maintenance your marriage, your relationship, because it's not going to maintenance itself, just like her Sisterlocs. If she was just sitting there and just let her Sisterlocs grow out, she was like, I'm not touching it, I'm not doing nothing to it, it is what it is, that's how it's going to be, then her hair is not going to flourish. It's going to look a hot mess. It's going to look a fuzzy mess. It's going to look unkept. It's going to look like she's not paying any attention to it. And that's just what a marriage was. If you just let it go, you don't maintenance it, you don't tend to it, you don't make sure you wash it, condition it, right? Your marriage is going to look a hot mess, just like your Sisterlocs. So it's important to be able to do that. So, there's so much more I can share with you, but that's their business. Even though she gave me permission to share it with you, I was like, can I share this on my podcast I'm talking about? And I've been holding on to it for forever. So I was like, this is the best time, since we're focusing on relationships in season 11 of my podcast, Shine with Kendell and Lenice. This is a great little mini episode to do within, the season in between episodes. So hopefully that inspired you. Even if you don't have Sisterlocs, even if you don't have locks, even if you don't have natural hair, you can have a lace front, a wig, some braids, some kinky twists, an afro, a jerry curl. Y'all still got jerry curl, weave, whatever you have. It has nothing to do with the hair, but it has to do with the effort and him wanting to make the effort to do that for whatever reason. Y'all got to, and I don't know the reason. The reason could be because he wanted to do it. He was interested. He was fascinated, or it could have been because it's much less expensive for them to do it at home. Don't focus on why, but focus on what's happening in that moment. And y'all know how it is, old fashioned. You sit in between somebody's legs and they're doing your hair. Y'all seen it. Y'all know, somebody cornrolling somebody's hair. They're sitting on the step or the stoop, and somebody's combing their hair, or they're sitting on the couch and somebody's sitting on the floor, or, how that thing is. It's a very intimate experience, even when it's not meant to be intimate. Because when you're putting your hands in someone's hair and you're having that conversation, that's personal space. Whether you're doing it, an aunt doing it for a niece, you're spending quality time, right? Whether it's a mom doing it for their daughters, that's quality time. I remember when I used to do my daughter's hair, I still be doing, sometimes I still be doing things to my daughter's hair. That's quality time. My youngest daughter, I just did her hair, and that's quality time, talking and doing things like that. So you guys know how that goes. So that couple was able to save their marriage, and divorce is off the table, and they're communicating again because of them darn Sisterlocs. That's it. That's all. I just wanted to share that story with you. Hopefully it inspires you to communicate with your partner, communicate with your spouse, communicate, be more than just marriage on paper or a relationship to say you got a woman or you got a man. Invest the time in it, share intimate spaces, and intimacy doesn't always have to be sexual, right? Intimacy is having a conversation face to face like this, or holding a hand, or looking intently into someone's eyes and telling them that you hear them, right? You're not just listening, you hear them, you understand them, hear about their day, have that conversation so you can propel your relationship into a place of security, right? Emotional security, and propel that into a solid relationship that doesn't just look good on social media or for your family and friends to see, but you want it because you want to have one, because at the end of the day, it's your relationship and you define it and you make it what it is to be. It has nothing to do with anybody else. You have to decide. And if it's no longer serving you, and if it's not a healthy relationship, then you have to decide if you want to stay in that or not. And that's not anybody else's decision but your own. But if you want to save it, or if you don't even know you want to save it, she didn't even know, and it ended up saving it. And honey, that smile she had on her face was everything for me. All right, y'all. This is Kendell and Lenice, the Remix Coach. This is Shine with Kendell and Lenice. If you don't subscribe to the podcast already, please do so. And if you feel like this blessed you and will bless someone else, please share this out. We got to promote healthy relationships, y'all. In season 11, we are doing that. The lessons, right? The hard lessons, the growth, the challenges, how you can overcome it, or how you can leave the relationships, or getting into fresh new relationships, whatever that is. That's what we're focusing on season 11 of Shine with Kendell and Lenice. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, if you're able to leave a message or rate my podcast where you're watching your podcast, please do so. And also, your support is always welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, I think there is a heart and it says support. You can give. It's like 99 cents or something like that. If you're watching on other platforms, there's a star. Wherever you see it, definitely support the show. All right, y'all. God bless y'all. Peace.